Hey guys, welcome to High School Game Day, brought to you by PNN, the show where we talk about high school football. My name is Jackson Wells. I'm here with Kelvin Evans and Reese Cotton, and today we're going to start off by talking about some of last week's games. The first game we're going to talk about is Jacksonville and Sachs. Sachs went to Jacksonville and got the dog stew beat out of them. We saw a lot from Reese's favorite running back, Nico Richmond. Reese, can you tell me a little bit about Nico?
Nico Richmond is a machine, guys. He gets the ball, he makes major plays for Jacksonville. He is their key player. He is the one that is going to drive them to have a successful season this year.
What do you guys say, Kelvin, about that game?
Jacksonville's defense was really standout, kept Sachs off the board in multiple aspects of the game. I feel like that defense is going to show us a lot.
You know, we like to talk a lot about standout defenses. We saw a lot from Oxford last week, and they're going to Coleman this week to play. What do you guys say about Coleman and Oxford this week?
Oxford is always going to have that KJ Britton and that linebacking core for them. I feel like that defense is always also going to be a standout as well as Jacksonville's. Oxford's going to come out on top.
All right. Talking about teams who got the dogs to beat out of them like we did, talking about Sachs. Anniston and Cherokee County, they're 0-3. What do you got to say about Anniston?
Anniston is on a very dry spell right now. They're losing their quarterback and their backup coming in. I do feel like with Anniston being on the dry spell, they're going to come in, they're going to get their first W this season.
Kelvin, do you think there's any chance after the losing of most of their depth chart of Anniston coming in and having a successful season after starting off 0-3?
I believe that their backup quarterback, Mario Dobbins, is going to come out. He came out in that first start he had for him after that week 1, and he threw 5 touchdowns in that game. I believe he's going to be a standout player this week. He might be able to lead those Bulldogs to victory.
A standout team that we've seen the last couple of weeks is Ohatchee. Ohatchee is 3-0. This week they're going to take on Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley is a team that took a hard loss last week to Welborn. Pleasant Valley, you know what they say about Welborn, if you lose to them, you lose to them twice because you got to fix everything that you messed up the week before, and it usually gets in your head and it messes you up the next week. Do you think there's any chance of Pleasant Valley going to the Creek Bank and playing an undefeated team and coming out with a win tonight?
Very, very little chance. I believe Pleasant Valley, they showed some upside the first drive. They showed they have a little bit of big play capability, but they really lack on the defensive side of football. I believe Ohatchee is going to beat them easily this week.
I really think Pleasant Valley is going to come back and get it. Even though they're off their first loss, I feel like they're going to bounce back, get this W, and knock Ohatchee down, get their first loss.
You know, Pleasant Valley has a huge offensive line that was really just not that great last week. Do you think that they can step it up and that running back can actually do something this week?
I don't believe so. I think Ohatchee's defense is going to be same quality, if not, well, no, not better quality than Welborn's defense, but same quality as Welborn's defense. I don't believe they're going to be able to make much difference.
What do you think about that?
I just feel like Pleasant Valley's lines is not going to be able to bounce back like they did, but I still feel like they're going to be able to come back and beat Ohatchee and just give them their first loss.
You know, talking about killer defenses and really just a killer team all around, Piedmont tonight, they'll be playing Randolph County. Randolph County, who was a 2A powerhouse last year. Do you think Randolph County can take it to Piedmont and get a win tonight?
Randolph County's they're a pretty good team, but Piedmont's a great team. Piedmont's probably just going to run them off the field today.
Namath wasn't able to make the show today, but I know if he was here, he'd make a big statement about Taylor Hayes, the quarterback for Piedmont. Can you tell me anything about Taylor Hayes?
Taylor Hayes is their leader. He is a very strong leader. He's got good chemistry with others. He makes sure everybody's on the same page. He's gonna make big plays for this team, and he's gonna make sure that they get this win.
You know, you said chemistry, and teams that we've seen this year with great chemistry all around is both teams are actually playing in our game of the week tonight. Welborn and Weaver. Weaver's offense has been just blowing everybody out of the water. Same thing with their defense, and Welborn's just shown improvement all around. If I'm going to compare them to college teams, it'd be like seeing Oregon and Alabama play. What do you think you got to say about that?
I believe that Weaver hasn't really been tested this year. I believe this Welborn defense is actually going to show them some type of resistance this week. I believe we're actually going to see a good game of football played on this field we're standing on.
Weaver has not yet really played a very well team, but even though Weaver has not been challenged yet, they're still showing what they can do. They have a great defense, great offense. They're running the ball, they're passing. They hit you from any angle they can. And I feel like this road game right here, with them coming to Welborn, they'll be able to show what they can do on their first drive and get the momentum started and show them what Weaver can do, even though they have not been tested yet.
You know, Weaver's a team who's been beat by the Panthers. for almost 15 years in a row, only losing one in a 15-year streak. And if you really want to go really far with it, it's been about 25 years, even though there was a 5-year break in between there where they didn't play each other at all. Do you think there's any chance this year that Weaver can break that almost 2 decades, almost 3 decades of play?
No chance.
I do. I think
Weaver's coming out on top.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think Weaver's going to break this dry spell. It's done. They're ready this year. They came out to fight.
We've heard a lot about this Weaver team throughout the years as they've came up. These players played together all their lives, but so is this Welborn team. This Welborn team also has a lot of history that goes back with this team. Playing them in Junior B against each other, winning the championship there. Do you think that's going to have anything to correlate with what's happening now that these two teams have gotten to where they're back to the teams that were playing them?
When you build a history of winning, it's in your blood, it's in your bloodline. That's what you do. That's all Welborn knows, and we're going to try to win this game.
I do feel like Welborn is going to be able to have a great history, but I just don't feel like it's going to be able to come over top on Weaver. Even though they've had a great history against them, and it's non-consistent wins, I think Weaver's ready to break up this little history of theirs.
So do you think that playing at the Hill instead of playing at Weaver is going to have anything to do with that?
No, I feel like this is not going to affect them at all. None.
Coach Smith has lost very few games at the Hill. Last year we only saw one loss here, and that was to Glencoe, and that game really was just was one that shouldn't have been lost. And do you think that them not losing here is going to help tonight?
I believe the tradition is going to it increases their adrenaline. It keeps them going. It makes every play bigger, every moment bigger, and I believe that hometown advantage is going to have a big effect on tonight's game.
Starting tonight, Welborn has that student section they're pulling out tonight. Do you think that's actually going to even correlate to how this game's going to go down with the, we see student sections in college do a lot of work. Do you think that's going to help a lot?
I believe it's going to create some confusion on the Weaver side of the field. I believe they're not going to be able to get plays out effectively. I feel like that student section is going to be making a lot of noise, going to be making it hard for them to get their game plan going.
All right. You heard it first here, guys. Kelvin says Welborn's going to win. He has Weaver with the win. We'll see you next week on High School Game Day. Bye, guys.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
Yup.